Yeah, I'm back. I had to go and get my stuff from outside, my water. So I believe I left off where Capricorn energy will spend a lot of time taking care, or they'll feel like it's their obligation to take care of their parents. And a lot of times when you find Capricorn spending a lot of time for those who does, and I would say 95% of the time you do, they'll spend a lot of time taking care of their parents. They tend to later on in life neglect their relationships. They do a lot of it's like we have innate our parents, our families, not families, well, obligation to family too, but more so I know my girlfriend's gonna come for me. That's why we're trying to get this video done as soon as I can. This is a part of my transit where I gotta be all ready for everybody and everything. Everybody who's ready for me to get social and everything. It's like you have no choice. This is a part of your task. People need you right now. You gotta be there and you gotta show up no matter how tired you are. You have to make yourself available for everyone, because it's going to benefit you as tired as you are. But yeah, there's a lot of manipulation that comes from parents, parents, and they tend to manipulate their relationships based on their upbringing through their parents. Okay, if those are certain goats, some goats are quiet about it. You would never know what they're thinking, but they tend to take it out literally on their relationship with their partners. Okay. Also, most goats have this if nobody do it, who's going to do it? We like to, I believe that's a way of not having to at the time face the real harsh truths of, well, if you wanted, if you wouldn't have took the job, you know what I'm saying, you won't have to feel like you have to. We must learn, over time, which Aries, the North Node in Aries, is going to teach us. Well, what about you? The I am energy is going to teach you that, because it's moving away from now. Because I told you the astrological wheel and externally, the time is backwards, and here on Earth is moving forward. So soon Aries energy is going to teach you, well, what is it that you really want? You know, nobody has to tell you and advise you anything. You just got to get up and actually go do it. You don't need a bunch of people. Well, what are you thinking? Oh, I came from this, and I wasn't blah, blah, blah. That's when you'll know the lower nature side of Capricorn that feels like it needs these friends or people around them to kind of cheer them on. But once, then there's goats who be like, I don't need a goddamn soul to tell me how to think or how to feel. And you don't need that emotional blackmail. I call it emotional blackmail because it does come from people who get it supportive. We attract these types. We attract these types that initially act like they're very supportive, but you'll find out later what karma is for yourself, especially if you neglected others. You're gonna get the backlash of feeling like that emotional hold on, which you're pulling from Cancer, that you need certain types of people to make you feel like I need these people around me to push. And it, a lot of times it affects their spouse. It'll affect the person, it'll affect their friendships. They'll also feel like they don't add up. So what they'll do is they'll go outside of their home, wherever home to them is. Home could be their partner that they've been dating for a very long time, or they will, I mean, the real people that were supporting, and they'll look. Capricorn will pull a Cancer, like I said, they would. No shade to my partner sign, Cancer. I had to learn about myself from you guys, and vice versa. Y'all learn from us. Y'all, we or y'all, because I have done it when I was younger. You would look outside for people with comforts that you might think that they have certain accolades, and y'all realize later it's a smokescreen. It'll be you actually doing all the work. It's like they pulled the switcheroo on you. It'll be you doing the work. It'll be rather than you actually had the people over in your corner. All you had to do was just open your mouth and ask when you felt like, yo, I'm doing it all. And the partner's like, hold on, you could have asked me. You know, I asked and you put up that crab shell. You're a goat and you're supposed to be the greatest of all time when you're feeling confident, but you need somebody to blow some fake ass gas like smoke up your ass, you know, to remind you, hey, you got all these things up in you. What is it that you need to hear for you to feel great? That's where Capricorn could go wrong and burn bridges behind it. You know, and burn bridges. And I'm getting up to where I said to hate us is to love us, and to love us is to hate us. When Capricorn is their least, when they feel like they need this now, after, you know, realizing that a lot of the things that they took harshly is coming from the Cancerian energy, the house of the fourth house of home. They've hopefully a lot of them, not too much of them. Once a lot of them learn to let go of their home ideology of how relationship goes and how they should see themselves as a character and how they personify. Because there's some goats too. Like I said, there's 3 decades of goats. There's actually 4 decades. I would like to say 7 modalities of Capricorn. Okay, and that's mixed with double air. They can be rising. They can be double water. They can be double earth, or even triple earth, or even fire, air, earth, and so forth. The modalities of this is certain types of Capricorns. They can be manipulative now. Now, when you notice a Capricorn's being manipulative, they unconsciously are aware of how their parents manipulated them. Remember, this is emotions of the 4th house. Partner sign energy, Cancer. All right, let's do this. Because that's why I go here. And I know y'all won't be fighting on my shit, but at least give me my flowers. Hit that fucking like button. You can subscribe, you can share this shit. It's still the work. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm that person to break it. All right. They can be manipulative based on their upbringings from their parents, how their parents manipulated them, or how they unconsciously buried stuff. Capricorn is another sign that buries things in the psyche. That's why they call it the secret. You notice back in the days, most rituals was done with the energies of Virgo. Through the Virgin energy, sometimes Jupiter, and of course, Capricorn. But they'll do it during the season of Pluto, which is in November or December into January. Those energies of that, they never do it during Jupiter because they don't know, they are aware that Jupiterian energy can either expand for the good or for the worse. Okay, but when you're doing certain rituals during Scorpio season, either it's direct or it will just blow up in your face, period. But during Capricorn, it's usually for divinations. Divinations are during the time when things to be revealed to you. When do you notice things are being revealed to you is during the seasons of May going into June. May going into June. And we're talking about revelings, things that you notice from past history. It shows up during February, January, February, and March, May and June, and back into, and we're talking about revelation, like you're going to see it. So those are the months when you want to see divinations, repeated history of the past, whether it's coming from family, friends. And when I mean family and friends, I mean like your synastry, your real actual synastry houses. The houses of your childhood upbringings are the 1st, 4th, 10th. 8th is what you learn through partnerships. 7th is what you learn through partnerships. 10th is what you accumulate over time on your own. 3rd is of childhood memories, 3rd and 4th house. So if you want revelations about yourself and how you do things, just watch people's behavior, watch people from old time, past time lives that you may have known when you were younger, or certain things you'll see them around Cancer time, you'll see them around Gemini time, you'll see them around Capricorn time, okay? When Capricorns become successful or they reach a certain alchemy that'll shake our 8th house, if you're a Capricorn sun, most of you are, you would notice during certain things repeats itself and shake up your 8th house and awakens your 4th house of childhood. Things you've seen that you probably unconsciously was aware of, because remember, we all live a life of things how we normally tell ourselves. Let's get it. I love doing this shit. I would be an awesome teacher. I would be a straightforward teacher. You know, I would probably have a drink too, you know what I'm saying? Because a thick one. But let me make sure I'm still recording. Yeah, still recording. Whether you want to see it or not, it's really through their relationships, they'll manipulate others through how they were taught through their parents, whether they would like to admit it or not. And a lot of goats sometimes become aware of this by the age of 35, 40, if they choose to really see it. It can make a goat self-deprecate on themselves, and they will continue to blame others in their mind of it being the other, because like I said, it comes from 4th house upbringing. I notice a lot of Capricorns respond in ways that they saw their parents do things, and they don't know why they do. A majority of the time, they don't know why they do them because it was embedded. Like I noticed a handful, and when I tell you a handful, a lot of Capricorns Cancers, Aries, Libra. This is all cardinal I just named. Gemini, but Gemini still become a contradictory. Virgo and Pisces also does this, but they'll do it in a way where, because after a while, their conscience will fuck with them. When it comes to mutable doing this, after a while, they might have schizophrenic tendencies, okay, when it's mutable. But when it's Earth will externally push the pin and say, you. I noticed that when they would do that, it would be the upbringing from the child, seeing things and took synapses of the family's dynamics and put it into the spin of how they believe their relationships should go. And it'll come out in an emotional platform of, like I said, I've seen some displayed behaviors of codependency through needing friendships. And they may also possibly want to court, the word is court, their friendships. Because remember, Capricorn wants to be the leader. And Capricorn is the sign of status. The status signs are Scorpio and Capricorn, really and truly, the status, the accumulated status. Sag would be attaining status, and the divinities of spiritual status would be Pisces. So you would find that the manipulation of Capricorns would spin off the dynamics of things that was done at home. Let's just say a Capricorn child was seeing their father or mother dating multiple partners, or the child was seeing these types of dynamics at home. And the parent, they might have one parent who deems to be loyal and, you know, timid and dainty. And the other partner, you see, okay, yeah, I got disconnected. Let's say they seen the other parent, two parents they raised in a household of both parents, and they seen one parent being a standalone workhorse in the family, and they see, or even both parents, it could be both, you know, but they seen one parent unconsciously talking on the phone to their lover, their side lover. Unconsciously, when they grow up, I noticed that they grow up doing the similar things as they saw one of their parents that they hold in high esteem do. Like they will unconsciously start doing it and assume that it's normal. Like they would assume it's normal, or they would just go out and act out through partners, looking for other people to coach. And we're talking about coaching people. Like they always like Sag. Sag is everybody's cheerleader, just like Gemini. They're coming off that energy. They would be counseling a bunch of other partners when they have their partners at home that they can counsel, or they would tend to look down at their partner like I deserve more, but they really not going, they're really already low key, codependent, but they'll make it in their mind that my status, I have status because I have these types of family or siblings or something with these accolades. I won't be here too long. Oh yeah, this is dark side. Like I said, we're getting to the to hate us to love us. And they would tend to not leave their partners, or, you know, because they still want to keep their partners because they just out there supposedly the grass green on the side, but they love their home. They would be out there coaching and mentoring and eventually getting intertwined with other partners based on people who they claim were friends, but yet they find themselves, you know, in a relationship with many facets. Maybe I got too many applications going. And also, Capricorn will either, they have seen it, it's the psychological nature of them looking outwardly for all types of wife materials and mother materials through the nature of their relationships. There has even been to some where there's a lot of Capricorns who despise their upbringing, that they were actually pursue an identity of a whole nother race. Okay, and you know, they'll tell you, you can see them black as skin, and they'll tell you, oh, I come from Indian family. They might have one or two siblings that's Indian, but we all are mixed. Of course, we came from slavery. We all have rich mixture of different, you know, of nationalities. However, they would also say that that's not their native background, okay? And also, they would run away and try and look for these trophy type of different personas. Like I said, these types of people, that they act like they're mentoring, but really the opposite is really mentoring them and playing them. They're looking for nurturing mother types of how the person act like my mom. You can get that look. I learned this so fucking funny that I said, you don't see your patterns. Like, I'm meant to see this shit and call it for what it is. I'm a goat. And with the real goats, when it mirrors you back, it's like, how dare you think you know me? You think you know everything. They'll run and continue to run and play these games, and then they'll come back to their, let's just say, their husband or wife. They'll go and then they'll act like they have the right to come back home after mistreating their partner on multiple facets of like I outgrew this. This is not where I want to be anymore. Well, I was taught, well, my parents traveled the world and blah blah blah. But you're looking at it through your parents' accolades. Even if they set the plan before you, you may not actually be that child, to be that breadwinner like that. You may have been the breadwinner within their four walls, but only God knows where you're pursuing to be. If it is, then why aren't you established? You know, because really the person who would be me, the GOAT, I'm like, if that was really true, look where you are. If you will have somebody like me pushing and pursuing you, but you didn't want that, but you rather look outside and see, oh, this person got that, so that's where I need to be to get there. And you realize you'll spend your whole life latching on, pulling a crab, like I said, pulling a Cancer, and this is the lower nature Cancer. They hold on to multiple different types of people, like on some Frankie Lama shit, no disrespect to her dad. I'm just talking about the personality traits of different pieces of people who you're trying to put together into one big character. What makes a Capricorn successful is the standalone diligence in our sign, the standalone diligence that we actually have that needs no one, no one. Once you realize that all you need is the God inside you, if you're God's child, anything you need, that's all signs. Once you realize that, you have the all confidence that people been building you. That's when Capricorn realized, I don't need nobody to tell me nothing about nothing. I have accumulated everything I need, because that's why I said Capricorn will learn to do it all on their own. If not, they'll pull a Cancer. They'll think they need this person, that person, sleep with this person. I need this person. I need to be around this person. I need them because they make me feel good. All this feeling and feeling and feeling and feeling. And you realize 5, 10 years later, you had all of that literally in front of you. And you done blew a lot of good people away, and you expect them to come back and take you back in with open arms. That's why Capricorn can be the devil, okay? We can be our worst devil, or we can be the devil to show you who you are, because we will karma. And the beauty and the transformative way of how Capricorn can redeem itself is to forgive what it believed that it was lacking, to make peace with such things. And they'll be like, what the fuck does that mean? Only you know. The lies we tell ourselves every day, like how you'll go outside with your girl and you'll hold their hand, but yet you're doing the same thing. You'll tell one female, that's my queen. Somewhere else, you're telling someone, that's my queen. And they'll pull a Cancer too. Cancers are the ones that absorb, like I said, like Capricorn. Capricorn to take multiple facets of everything, work on it, work on it, work on it. The first thing I've always asked my partners, and they all get this from me, I noticed that, did you eat? I never met a person who asked me ever, did I eat? But when I noticed that when I start, after a while, I guess I get in the system, it's like, yo, did you eat? Did you take care of yourself? Because they'll notice that I haven't eaten, but I ask them. And I've done this all the time. I notice this in every relationship. Or the phrase, I love you till later. You're going to hear a lot of shit that I know I've given. And when I hear it back, or when I hear the expression, I just keep it quiet, because that's what I do. It's my 8th house, like, shut the fuck up. Where we come from. Aquarius moon, we originate. We take anything old and bring it new. Like, they'll copy their partners. They're pulling the water, mirroring water energy. And Capricorn can be original when it accepts to shed. You hear me like, we got hooves, so the hooves would be scraping, like when it scrapes its hooves to bear. And I mean, look at the pain, look at the uselessness of everything it thought it believed it needed, when it actually had what it really had in front of it. And once it shed that, it can be a beautiful, beautiful, not only a bull, because we share certain attributes of Aries, which is the ram. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's exalted. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. You put Mars in Capricorn, you get a Capricorn stronger than an Aries. Okay, you'll get them stronger. You put Pluto in Capricorn, which is what makes Scorpio so strong in endurance is his third house in Capricorn. That Mercury house will make the drive to the blind focus of being fixed, driven by the hard, intense, undying, selfless. Capricorn can be so selfless that they can give you their last. They can give you their last. And that's why I said Capricorns have to be careful because they attract manipulative signs that will see the builder man or woman in that person, and they'll take you along for the ride because that's what you're doing. You end up pulling a Cancer, a lower frequency Cancer of I'm learning how to eat better quality foods and this shit, or you're trying to believe that this is when you and your actual partners that you were neglecting, you did this to your partner, and you act like you came back and taught them something. Your partner could be quiet, like I was doing this before you. Like Capricorn can be fucked up on that road of life when they are in a lower frequency, and it can build up a resentment to their partner. It can make the partner want to behead your asses. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're in their lower frequency. And goats can do that. When they're feeling their lowest, it can make your partner want to decapitate your ass because you don't have you have the girth, the deep inner, purposely unconscious. That's why if you look at the tarot card, they're not really chained or binded. You could slide your hands out. It's a choice to see what you want to see. And you really will make yourself believe that you have all these facets. You can attain them, but if you're acting and you're living pieces of other people's reality and they're not yours, are they really yours? And when these people build you, they're going to show you if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have. And remember, Capricorn is the sign that I use. Be careful of how you use the great people who were there from the beginning, the great people who have been pushing you, but when they were pushing you, you didn't want them because you felt the grass was green on the other side and that it was something that you always wanted to see before. And these people that are, and when you look at the people that you see that was actually helping you, they wasn't equivalent to the people who were low with you, having their hands dirty to build you up on some real shit. While the other goats, there's other goats out there that be like, fuck this. I don't need nobody for nothing. I'm going to get this done. I don't care how long it takes me. And when that person supersedes that person, they still don't come back with, I'm sorry. They'll come back like, yo, you did it. And that goat would be like, yeah, they become humble and be like, yeah, I did it. And you can too. Because they passed these accolades. You understand? Perseverance makes the goat. Goat's energy is stand alone. A goat is a stand alone. Their blood is stand alone. I want all my Capricorns. Debater speaking. Never forget people who's loving on you from the beginning when they know you're not shit. The people who you've been cheating on that know you wasn't shit, and every time you came back and they took you in, brushed you up, made sure you was good, showed you equality, showed you fairness, showed you that you value, even though you purposely and may unconsciously be aware of where you're going, but they have an idea of where you're going. The actual one person, because there's always usually one person in Capricorn draw near, but that's the person they treat like fucking shit, okay? And we're talking about on the darker side. Everybody else they'll treat good. The people who are really working under you, that was really pushing you, that you claimed or you tried to psych yourself out that you were better than. When you get there through these people, your shit won't last. You'll find yourself picking up your pieces, but the other goats, let's just say you had a partner who was willing to ride, not the motherfuckers that come in along the person who was building your ass up. Not those ones. We talking about the ones who was there from the beginning of the line, out there filling the forms, out there doing all of that, and you forget that those people's helped you. When they blow past your ass, the karma is you did it to yourself. You shot yourself in your own goddamn foot. A lot of them will make themselves believe because they're looking for emotional fulfillment because they're not getting it at home or they didn't got it at home. You had a partner to get that from. You had somebody who ran with you, who was willing to take that job with you, but you felt like you needed more. Be careful. Remember, you rule karma, and your karma could be you shooting yourself in the foot, not benefiting from their accolades, but from you realizing you wasted so much time chasing others' accolades. You're chasing through what other people have. Capricorn may not understand stuff right away. Like sometimes when I ask questions, I may not get it right away. Because sometimes Cardinal is trying to think of a way how to put it all together. And that can take you all a while because all earth signs do this. We're not as slow as Taurus, but we get it. So what those goats who know that they are lack, they'll be like, well, that's not everything. That's because really and truly, they want somebody to get there while they ride their motherfucking coattail. Ain't nobody riding my coattail because I'll be damned if you bring a side bitch with you to ride my motherfucking coattail and I'm feeding the both of you bitches. I'll put you out your misery. That's my karma. There's ways to put people out their misery. You know what I'm saying? There's goats that it can make your partner really resent you. You can really burn some damn bridges. Sag could burn bridges. Scorpio, Libra, all the other side of the chart now, all the darkers, the parts that's underneath the sun, can burn bridges, including Virgo. They can draw into their Pisces shit, like on some dark shit. They can burn bridges. Now we're going to get into because I don't know how much time when it cuts, so I'm trying to give it a few minutes before I jump into the next part. The modalities of Capricorn. As a child, like I said, the parent has very much influence on the kid. Now we're talking about, let's go into relationships with Capricorns. You might meet Capricorns, certain types of Capricorns. There's 7 modalities. The one who never have nothing right away. They're living off their parents or living in their parents' house. They have parents who are very much, they're reserved or might even be fiery, but they allow the adult or young adult or however they are living in. Let's go to adulthood because I talked about some of the key parts of the childhood part. Let's talk about the man Capricorn who might be still living in their parents' house, who will say, ain't nothing wrong with being a mama's boy. They'll tell themselves that, but really if they lack, then why do they find themselves jumping from female to female to female or guy to girl, or if they're bisexual, they jump all over and have these different people who have different pieces of lifestyles that they believe because they want to see it and make people will make you seem like it's so exciting and you find out that motherfucker. You might find out that the people that you see when you get up close with a actual big ass gigantic microscope, they might be somebody that you meet who don't got no motherfucking job. They might got SSI and they know how to dress good. You know what I'm saying? They might get some fucking disability and they are working and making their needs and they're struggling and they're trying to get themselves together on X, Y, Z. Or you might meet someone in the reverse. So then you tend to look down, okay? So let's bring out that type of goat. Those types of goats who are looking and they're living in their parents' house and they're seeing these types of lifestyles, but they'll tell you money's not everything and they'll tell you all this shit, but yet they'll find themselves chasing these thrills because lyingly to themselves, they want the fucking status, they want the validity, they want that beautiful life that they know they can attain, but it's like, I want someone to help me get it. I want to see how this person figures this out so I can attain it. But the standalone goals, which are standalone goals that'll take the time and just go through the work, redo the work, and redo the thing, they'll get it. And they didn't need no one to help them. Because you're going to get other kinds of goats that this particular Capricorn might get, those other kinds of goats that'll tell you or look down at you like you're not working as hard as me and blah, blah, blah. To be successful doesn't mean you have to work hard. It just means you have to work smart. And a real Capricorn knows the word persevere means it's going to take a little time. And it's all about timing. And when you know this, you never mistreat your partners. You never mistreat your friends. You never mistreat your lover or your spouse or husband or whoever. Because like I said, your karma can affect your health. While you're thinking it's something you're actually eating, no, it's the alignment fucking eating you. You know, like your time, or it'll do it to your partner. You know what I'm saying? The partner, you assume that while you was chasing a partners, because a lot of them look lustfully through others' eyes, and I call it coveting. There's coveting Capricorns who want what somebody else got. And all men's in this world wants are different. You know, we want status. I don't want, me personally, I don't want somebody else's. I want my own. I want to take over somebody's company. You know what I'm saying? Or be their fucking competitor. You understand? How to show them how to do it better. But there are some who draw into their Cancer energy that will want what the other person has or something somebody has. And it's like, why I can't have that? Coveting is a jealousy. Whether you want to believe it or not, why you can't accept the fact that you actually do have it. And why you can't create the mold of making what you have such a beautiful thing, because our motto is I use, and you use what you have. When you use something of somebody else's, what if they want it back? How you think they're going to take it back? They can't get it back, right? You might say they can't get it back, but it's karma. You ruled by karma. It is the way they're going to get it back. Then there's the other Capricorns that, like I said, are the standalone ones that spend more time being depressed because they still find themselves blaming themselves or their partners for why they don't have it, or they'll brew, they'll overdrink, they'll oversmoke, they'll overeat. Some Capricorns don't. I notice some earth signs, they don't even brush their fucking teeth good. They don't wash their ass good, but when a motherfucker come around, they ready to all of a sudden act like this is what they do. You know, like I said, fourth house of home, how you feel at home, baby energy, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and to some degree, 15 or anything under 10, 14 degrees of Cancer, they do that. Like they'll sit there as in the balls, think, breath reeking before they get home. But when all of a sudden, when you're ready to meet up with somebody, now all of a sudden you know how to, you know, it's a show. And 10th house can be of entertainment because it's stage show. You can see a fucking beautiful courthouse. You go inside, that shit is falling apart in shambles. But yet the building's stronger than a motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. That's Capricorn. So Capricorns, be careful of how you hurt people. Your karma also comes that way as well. It can mess up your fertility. You might try to lie to yourself and say, I want children, but I have to establish myself. I have to get this. And how long is that taking? Because you're still brooding. You know, you're still at a place where you are still suffering through it. And you might not feel it suffering, but you're waiting for an opportunity when you're supposed to be creating that opportunity. Because these are the goats that still have fourth house traumas. The fourth house traumas are how your upbringing was, how you were teased as children, how you met the people you met, and maybe some girlfriends you tried to date and they teased you, and you know, your sexual experiences. We got to get down to that part too. Also the uncomfortability of opening up to your partners, and you would still hold them accountable for why you're not opening up to them. But you'll say you're not, but really and truly you are holding yourself back from the most beautifulest thing in the world, which is to nurture the people who's actually going hard for you. And when you learn to love that and you embrace that, you will realize that that is what you needed the whole time. And that transformed you into the GOAT, the greatest of all times. Why they call us the greatest of all time, of all the signs, is because you can be the mommy and you can be the daddy when you need to be. And you can provide for everyone and everything once you shed the lack mentality. That's what makes GOATs successful. It's not really partnerships that make us successful, because most of the time, the partners we attract when after we shit on people, the karma is we attract people that was doing what you was doing when you was in your lower frequency. They'll mooch off to you till they can't do it no more. You'll find yourselves getting partners that will be like they'll try to make you believe, but you'll because you want to believe, you forgot about the person who's building you up, and y'all tend to meet somebody who came up within that alignment. You will shit on the person who was actually the seed of who you were and growing you, but you felt like I'm traveling here and there and everywhere, and I'm doing this, and it's a fucking smokescreen. That's when it builds up hate and resentment with your partners. Because some of the people who was loving on you, I noticed a lot of the Capricorns, and I'm talking about the lower ones, when they were loving on you, not the people who is attracting, waiting to see where you go in life. Because remember, there's a difference. Those are the people you attract that want to see where you're going in life. Those are the people after you already had the one stable partner, the real true best friend that was there, but you felt the other person was the beautiful one to help me get to my status. When you had the actual friend who was giving you the real deal, not blowing smoke up your ass, giving you real shit. They wasn't telling you all the shit you want to hear and trying to sound encouraging and build a nigga and shit. Because some of us women and goats do that. That's what I'm telling you. My conscience be like, yo, this person is manipulating me. I'm not sticking around for this. A standalone goat will not stick around for nobody being misogynistic, because I know bullshit and I'm not going to entertain it because I like somebody. I don't like that. I don't like somebody saying on things that I want to hear. And there's goats like that are ass kissers. I don't like an ass kissing goat. I'd be ready to blow up their fucking spot. But I'd be like, yo, karma going to deal with their ass. Because I'm sure a lot of people see that. Okay? And that's not my ego. That's their ego. You should never have to do that to get where you got to go in life. Catching bees with honey, that should sound good at first, but then it become a sticky situation. And y'all have to make sure when y'all doing such things, if you don't want your partner, leave them the fuck alone. Sorry. If you don't want your partner, don't drag them. The room just turned pink when I said that, like, yes. If you don't want your partner, if you believe you outgrew them, which I always realize, it did it again. Leave them alone. Your karma will be heavy. If you know that you believe that you deserve better, go pursue it without being the crab, grabbing people along the way. You're no one's chaperone, and you damn sure ain't know. You can't lead somebody when you don't know where you're going yourself. All you know is you want to attain something that you really believe you can get, and you can get if you learn to do it alone. And those types of goats who are the standalones, they're the lovers who disappear every now and then. Those are the ones who ghost people. They're like, look, I'm out working, but you know I miss you. I'm really in my head. Allow me. Not the manipulate ones that'll tell you I'm a goat, I'm in my head, I'm just sorting myself out, I'm at home by myself, but you got time, and you'll find out later these motherfuckers doing the same thing they telling you with some other chick. They out there pulling a whole nother lifestyle. You understand? You have to be careful of those types too. But then I'm talking about the standalone goats, the real standalone ones that's out there pursuing themselves. They're not looking for nobody's validations. They're not looking through other people's travel trips, and they're not looking through other people, what they believe they see that smoke screen shit. A standalone goat can get that shit done and do it all by themselves, okay? That's a fact. That's what makes us the last earth sign of astrology. When we learn about our own personal inner belief of addictions, of partnerships, you see the two man and woman, the natures of sex, they were naked. When you learn, and behind the devil, you would see that that speck of light back there was your whole faith to begin with. Once you culminate all of that in, and you realize you have it all in you, there's no need to use no one. You can say, yo, I'm this kind of goat on some, I'm the man. All right. And the woman be like, yo, I'm in love with you. You'd be like, well, I'm not in love. I'm at a point in my life where I'm just cruising. You know what I'm saying? Cruising the world, gator boots for girls, the envy of all women, crushed linen. You understand? Like they could do that. They'll be that goat. That's the standalone goat. Not the ones, like I said, who will pull the coattail shit, and they attract people who's pulling their coattail, and then there are people pulling the coattail. Next thing you know, you're taking care of a whole bunch of motherfuckers and their families, and you have a bunch of scattered babies everywhere. And you're like, I could take care of them all. You may have, but are you really happy taking care of all of them? No. That was the paper trail, was the lack that you felt at home as a child of what you were scared to be, and you end up being that same thing. Only difference is you have a paper trail of children, different baby mothers. If you wanted a harem, like Mr. R. Kelly, no offense, my Capricorn, fellow Capricorn, that's what can happen. Your needs haven't been met because you're still pursuing something. You believe that those monetary things are going to help you along the way. And the money wasn't taking care of it, and the sex wasn't. Oh, let's get to the sex part. I'm going to cut this off and get to the sex part.